Oh, been a while since I had an update. Um, I am still grinding out the property tax slowly but surely. As of today, I am close to halfway. Um, Tomorrow I get paid, should be past halfway. Got some good news from my sister about some potential future financial stability, or at least something to work with for a minute. Don't want to go into any further detail than that, but it's not going to arrive in time for this deadline, but it means that afterward I should be able to cover my property tax, fix my car, and hopefully finally manage to get the trip down to southern Missouri to uh, commend my parents' remains to the river system as they requested. Um, Work last week was banging all week. This week so far has been kind of like not bad, but it could have definitely been better. Today was the night of the sub 10% tip. I took 7 runs, and of those 7 runs, only 2 of them were even close to acceptable. Um, certain location demographic pattern with the trash tips tonight too. It was pretty crazy. Almost like there was a movement or something. So um, last week, late midweek, I was suggested a video about cracking the lunar altar of any lunar magic that is in place against me. This would include hexes, etc. And things turned around literally as soon as I finished the video. Today it feels like those things that have been destroyed are starting to be reapplied. So it's like whatever evil force I'm up against is attempting to do a damage per second technique against this. I will attempt to continue to keep my path cleared because I am very close to the wire here. Um, in cat news, I've been giving her antibiotics up until yesterday. The ice packs that I was using to refrigerate finally were above room temperature, not able to cool sufficiently, so I had to stop with the antibiotic. I found a vomit spot from a cat that I don't know which cat it was, but this particular stomach contents looked like kind of like when a newborn baby first nurses a few times and has their first couple of bowel movements and it comes out this weird yellow particulate. It was kind of looking like that. And so I don't know exactly, what that means, or if that is actually from Samira or from Princess, because sometimes her pukes look like that. But between that and the obvious room temperature state of the keep refrigerated antibiotic, I had to cease a couple days early there. But she's doing good, seems to be okay. Um, I can't recall at this point if I mentioned on the previous Samira update, but I may have, that the offer was made to pay for her being spayed. This would help prevent future recurrence of this oozing and bleeding and pee and blood thing. Um, that is tomorrow. So tonight I will be bedding down a little bit early because I have to get up a bit early. She will be closed in the bedroom with me so that there's no food or water after midnight. And early in the morning I will drop her off, and then they're going to let me know in the afternoon when I can pick her up. Also, hopefully, with this potential financial boon that I'm looking at, hopefully be able to take my other babies in for checkups and like April's got an issue with her eye. I think she got slashed in her nictitating eye membrane, and it looks like there's a little irritation around the inside, and her eyelashes are not right on that side. So I'm gonna get her looked at. Oi is obese. I need to get her looked at and find out what we can do about her diet. Eventually, I want to get the One Fast Cat Wheel, but I've been waiting for years for even just the justifiability of any money I have to be able to purchase something like that. So hopefully maybe that changes here soon. Um, and eventually, depending on what the finances and everything of it are, I might be able to get all my babies spayed as well, and then future health problems and longer lives, health problems going away, longer lives sticking around. So I got off work tonight, and I went to a tobacco store, and there was a girl outside the store asking me if I could give her a ride, and I said no, I can't. She says I'm homeless. I said I'm sorry to hear that. I said, do you have a phone? I can give you the number for the cab company. I can pay for a fare. But I'm not. She was heading downtown and I was heading out of town. So she said, no, I don't have a phone. I said, all right, well, where are you trying to go? She told me. And I said, okay, well, give me a second. I called up the cab company and gave her the money for the fare. She stuck around and waited for the cab. I chatted with her for a bit. She seemed definitely lonely. The unfortunate thing when talking to people that are homeless, which, I'm trying to avoid that state myself, that a lot of the times people have issues that can't be corrected, or that they have themselves due to mental illness difficulty correcting. There's all kinds of reasons why a person comes to be in that position, but uniformly I get asked if I have an extra room at my house, and I have to say no. I have room, but you can't stay there. I'm sorry. The issue being, you never know what nature of mental illness someone has. You could have a complete stranger that you've never met before that you feel bad for, and you let them into your house, and you wake up dead, or to an empty house, or to the cops being called on some kind of false accusation. There's a few behavioral things that I noticed, body language and such with this girl, that schizophrenia might be a thing too. And it's like I just got done with a situation with somebody that could not discern the difference between reality and not reality, thinking that I was coming on to her when I wasn't. So avoiding anything like that again. Unfortunately, that means I can't house someone that needs housed. But if I was to do it for one person, other people start asking too. And I got to tell you, man, I've also had these recurring nightmares of a shitload of people tent camping on my lawn, and me having to go out and chase people off with a gun. And then there's the whole not having a gun safe thing. This place is not suitable for a visitor, especially a stranger. Could wake up and have a firearm missing. Be, civilly liable, if not criminally, for, anything that happens with it. Not really going to get into the social political stuff at this point. There's so much going on. I haven't really had time to dig into anything. Most of it's distraction anyway. We are still inching toward the precipice of a societal collapse, whether it's going to be the president, has to end his term early. The former president that's trying to get elected again gets locked up and arrested. There could be major issues once they start actually going after the current administration for all of its bribery and corruption, that there are people that have been brainwashed to think these people are our saviors that will be very upset if these folks get removed from office. So there's a lot of that about. The sun's going nuts on flares, of course. It's been doing that. 2 days ago, we finished off a 3-day-long polar absorption event that basically dosed the entire Arctic Circle on the North Pole of Earth with radiation for 3 straight days, including excessive levels of X-rays and ultraviolet at ground level. During this time, we sustained a number of powerful flares as well, and the sun has been launching off these gargantuan flares far side of the sun, but the Parker spiral, which is basically the sun is at the center, and it's rotating. And as it rotates, it's putting out, it's like a sprinkler, and if you watch a sprinkler rotate, the stream keeps moving this way, but the stream being emitted curves away as it... And so where it was at was that there was a spot, there was this, with the sunspot fired off this direction, and the Earth was over here, but the magnetic field lines of the Parker spiral brought it right around to Earth. So we sustained like a quarter of that X20 almost directly as if it was facing us, just at about a double time delay. So instead of 5 minutes, It was about 10 minutes that we received all of this excess radiation and everything else, proton storm and everything, and it registered through the sun as a C flare, and what hit us registered as a C almost to M flare, as I recall. So the sun's going nuts. The magnetic field is still diminishing as it has been. The magnetic poles are still wandering as they have been. And as this continues, the lesser solar events that we normally wouldn't even notice are going to become disruptive to technology, to cognition, to the environment. So yeah, all that fun stuff's going on too. Trying to think if there is anything else. But really, at this point, I think that's it. Everything worth mentioning has been mentioned. If I think of anything else, maybe I'll make another one. So that's what I got. I have to get to bed soon. Everybody have a good night.